Welcome to the Relevance Report, where we explore the relevant stories shaping our world today. I'm Garrett Krasnowski, your host this week. On today's show, we'll discuss cultural and religious representation in film. We will hear from MacEwan University students on how they spend their summer. Lastly, we will hear from a Canadian bull rider who has his sights set on the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Popular culture often perpetuates harmful stereotypes and creates misconceptions. Darby Crouch sat down with two people to discuss how film has impacted their culture or faith.
Below Rogers Place is the staff changing room, where one individual is finishing up her shift after a hockey game. Valeria Gomez came to Canada from Colombia when she was 7 years old with her mom, dad, and older brother. She remembers all the beautiful things from where she came from, but wishes Colombia wasn't only known for criminal behavior.
In general, when people think about Colombia, they think of drugs and Pablo Escobar. Colombia has so many other amazing resources, and it's such a beautiful country that it really bothers me the way that it's represented. If you go on Netflix and you search up Colombia, the main thing that you'll get is like Pablo Escobar, Narcos, like those kind of films. Landscapes, the people, the culture. Also, like, it's the second largest place in the world that has emeralds other than Pakistan. And that's just something that a lot of people don't know.
Now, Valeria is well aware that drugs are produced in Colombia, but wishes the film industry focused on culture and the beauty. Colombia may create the dangerous white powder, but is also being transported to North America for consumption. Valeria grows frustrated with the film producers over these reasons.
So I think if films could just shine a light on the fact that, like, Colombia has way more than just, like, the dark history of the drugs and the Pablo Escobar and Griselda and all those things, it would make, I know not just me, but every Colombia probably feel better.
There are many films that have shed a positive light on Christianity, like Miracles from Heaven, All Dogs Go to Heaven. But have you ever watched a film that spoke positively about Islam?
I've seen one movie that was produced by a non-Muslim producer where, like, Muslims and the Islamic faith were not represented in a negative way.
That's Mo Abdu. I caught up with him after his shift at Cactus Club Cafe, where we talked about his religion being represented in film. Mo is a first-generation Canadian, and both of his parents are from Palestine. He finds it disheartening that his Islamic faith has never been represented in a positive way when it comes to film production.
I've never myself witnessed, like, my religion being portrayed in any positive way in any, like, mainstream movies, media, or anything. The only time I've ever seen, it being portrayed in a somewhat positive way where it was, like, back home, movies that were made by Muslim producers. Movies are, like, a huge part of it. They play, like, a huge part in it, obviously, just because, like, the way Muslims are portrayed in them, like I said, it's not, it's very rarely a positive way. So, that definitely could change some people's perceptions. So maybe if I had an interaction with, like, a non-Muslim and I tell them I'm Muslim, obviously they're not going to tell me to my face, like, I heard you guys do this. They're going to keep it in their head. But I'm sure that many have had that first thought come to their head, which is unfortunate.
It is a sad reality that we live in a society where proper education isn't being taught in films. It would be fair to see all representations of culture and religion rather than just the negatives, as our interviewees have stated. From the Relevance Report, I'm Darby Crouch.
The semester has come to an end at MacEwan University, and students are ready for the summer fun to begin. We went out and talked to many MacEwan students to hear about what summer activities they are looking forward to.
The warm season has finally arrived, bringing a much-needed break from the chilly winter months. It's time to bask in the radiant sunshine and feel the warmth. The city will soon be alive with vibrant colors so we can venture outdoors and explore the summer activities. Whether staying in the town or traveling, the summer has activities for everyone. If you are staying in Edmonton, you can partake in the many festivals, restaurant patios, parks, and all there is to offer. The students at MacEwan tell us their favorite summer plans.
That's the best.
I don't go outside.
That's the best.
Edmonton is blessed with an outdoor environment that offers a serene escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. The city's river valley presents a perfect opportunity to indulge in various outdoor activities, such as cycling, hiking, jogging, or even picnicking. The nature-filled atmosphere of the valley is truly mesmerizing, and you can immerse yourself in its natural beauty of the surroundings. Queen Elizabeth Park is a must-visit spot where you can relish in the stunning cityscape views, including the Walterdale Bridge. The colors of the sunset and the warmth of the daytime sun make it an ideal place to relax and unwind. If you're looking to explore something more secluded, Elk Island Regional Park, located east of the city, is a great place for a day trip. The park offers a wide range of activities, including hiking, camping, and wildlife viewing, making it an ideal getaway from the city. But for some students, they are still hitting the books.
But I do like shopping or just like, picnic. I do like picnic. Yes.
Do you do classes in the spring, summer?
I try not to because it's depressing to come here during summer. And there's no one here, so like, but this term I'm taking summer classes, but it's online, so yeah.
For some MacEwan students, it is time to go back home. For many international students, this means embarking on a long journey to reunite with friends and family.
I can say like travel back to Asia. Yeah, because it's hotter than Canada, I think. So yeah, it's a nice weather to travel.
In the summer, you can find plenty of opportunity to enjoy higher speeds or admire different cars and motorcycles. If you drive around the city, you will come across car shows held during the season. The shows are a great way to see the latest or vintage models and designs and to meet other car enthusiasts. Friday and Saturday nights, if you happen to be in White Ave or downtown, you can witness the different cars and motorcycles owned by the residents of Edmonton cruising the streets. Or for some of MacEwan students who enjoy riding their motorcycles with their friends, Edmonton is a great place to explore on two wheels.
And what is your favorite summer activity?
Bike, going around, motorcycles, yeah, I love it.
And what is your favorite summer activity?
Just going on a motorbike ride with my buddies.
Alberta is a beautiful province in Canada that is home to some of the most breathtaking mountain destinations in the world. If you're planning a trip to the mountains, you can explore the stunning landscapes of Lake Louise, Banff, Canmore, Jasper, or any other picturesque mountain destinations that Alberta has to offer. There are many tours available in the parks that allow you to explore the mountains in a safe and informative way, or you can venture on your own if you prefer. Whether you choose to go with a guide or explore on your own, there's a range of activities available to suit all interests and skill levels. For those who love the outdoors, the mountains provide an opportunity to experience activities such as hiking, mountain biking, and rock climbing. You can also enjoy the beautiful lakes for swimming or kayaking, and there are plenty of camping options available. For the more adventurous, backpacking in the mountains is a great way to escape and recover from the stress of the semester. The experience allows you to immerse yourself in nature and enjoy the beautiful scenery that Alberta has to offer.
I like going backpacking in the mountains. It's just a really nice way to disconnect from everything and just kind of take a nice little breather from everything else in the world.
If you're looking for an ideal way to spend your summer on the beach, there are numerous water sports activities that you can engage in, which are both fun and great for your fitness. Whether you're a fan of the adrenaline rush of water skiing or prefer something a little bit more relaxed, such as paddleboarding or swimming, you'll find something to suit your taste. One lake that's particularly popular for beachgoers is Sylvan Lake. Sylvan Lake is a hive of activity during the summer months and offers a great place to relax after a day of fun on the water. Whether you're in the mood for a refreshing swim, a leisurely paddleboard, or an exhilarating water ski adventure, you'll find plenty of activities to keep you entertained. And if you're feeling peckish after all that activity, Sylvan Lake is home to great ice cream shops where you can indulge in a delicious treat or two.
My favorite summer activity is paddleboarding. I love it, especially on cold lakes. The water's so cold and your body's so sore from paddling for so long. I love doing it, especially when the waves are crazy because it's like a really good challenge for my muscles.
I would say water sports. I got really into water skiing last year, so I'm excited to do that.
For many MacEwan students, they are excited to be done and be able to indulge in the summer activities until they are back in school again in the fall.
Now I'm joined in studio with Darby Crouch, and she's going to be talking to me about something she is incredibly passionate about, bull riding. Hi, Darby. Thank you for sitting down with me today.
Hi, Garrett. Thanks for having me.
So, Darby, how long have you been involved with this Western way of life?
So I was born into this life. I've been involved in rodeo for 25 years. It has been a part of my entire family's life. We've all been diehard rodeo fans since day one. My grandpa competed, my dad competed, I also competed for 10 years, and now I'm involved in a different way, working as a Western sports broadcaster. So I interview contestants at rodeos and bull ridings almost every weekend, starting in April and going all the way to November.
So how did you come up with this particular story?
So there is a large majority of bull riders in Canada that have made the decision to branch out of competing here in our country, and they are now competing in the States. It's not uncommon for contestants to cross the border and compete, but I haven't seen this many in 1 year. So there's two reasons for this. Either they want to make the PBR World Finals in Texas, or they want to make the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas. Coy Robbins has his heart set on making his first National Finals Rodeo.
For me, it's just kind of that childhood dream I've always had to make the World Finals, and as tough as it is, I couldn't imagine doing it when I was older with a family and kids. Yeah, I have a lot of support to go right now, and in leaving home for can be extended periods of time down there, and yeah, it's kind of now or never.
So how does a guy decide what they want to do with their bull riding career?
So I have seen guys make the decision to stick with PBR, which is just bull riding and a massive production, or guys will bull ride at rodeos in the States, and at a rodeo, obviously, it has every other event and an entire performance. So there is barrel racing, bareback riding, roping, and so on. And Coy Robbins prefers to rodeo over PBR. And rodeos in the States can be completely different than they are in Canada, but Coy treats every performance the same.
Everything in the States is just a larger scale. There's more people, there's more bull riders, there's more bulls to pick from. The venues are bigger, everything just seems to be amplified in that scale. And then, they treat you well, hospitality, and but there's a lot of events up here that treat you well and look after you. But one thing that I would say is probably the biggest difference is the uncomfortableness. Whereas at home, you're comfortable, all the guys you're riding with, all the bulls, all the contractors, the contractors' wives, their kids, the bullfighters that are out there. Where in the States, until you really start going a lot and really building a name for yourself and putting yourself out there, it's all foreign. It can be kind of a tough hurdle to get over, being uncomfortable. But with my life and kind of as I live life, I just really try and embrace the suck and embrace the uncomfortableness of, what can be thrown at you, and just look at it in that lens that it's not going to do anything but help me grow. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest difference in the two.
Thank you for sitting down with me today, Darby, and providing us with all this information. Rodeo is big here in Alberta, so it's cool to hear this type of perspective from an Albertan bull rider competing at an international level.
Thank you for having me, Garrett. It was fun to talk about my passion and share it with everyone else.
Thanks for joining us for the Relevance Report. This week's episode was produced by Darby Crouch, Garrett Krzyzanowski, Sydney Jones, and Brooklyn Lustushin. The show's supervising producer is Sheena Rossiter. Additional studio supervision by Sasha Stanojevic. This podcast is produced as part of the BCSC 325 Radio News and Documentaries course in the winter 2024 semester. The course is part of the Bachelor of Communication Studies program in the Department of Communication at MacEwan University. The show was edited and produced out of the MacEwan Media Production Studio. Our theme music is called Buzzing by Kaylee Lambert. Additional music was New Logo Intro by Brig Z Studios from Pixabay. Logo design for this podcast is by Sasha Stanojevic. And I'm Garrett Krzyzanowski, your host for this week's episode. This podcast was recorded on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral territory of the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, and Nakota Sioux. We acknowledge that this territory is home to the Métis settlements and the Métis Nation of Alberta Regions 2, 3, and 4 within the historical Northwest Métis homeland. Don't forget to subscribe to the Relevance Report on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And if you like what you heard, please leave us a review and rating. It helps people find the show. Please join us again next week when we report the relevant stories that are shaping our world.